Hello everyone, it is Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me for yet another Sunday tutorial. Today I am going to be sharing with you how I went about calculating the fee for wholesale or bulk greeting cards. So, if you do like this video or you have any suggestions or comments, please just be feel free to add it to the comments below. And of course, if you have any questions, I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So first, to begin with, we need to know how many cards that the consumer would like. So basically, the number of card bases will depend on the price per sheet. So example, with my order, I had 75 cards to get done, and I used a total of 75 cardstock sheets for my card base. So what I did was I determined how much I paid for the entire pack, and then I divided it by the number of sheets in the pack, which gave me an average price per sheet. So again, let me say it again. So if you have example, just let's pretend this is your bundle of cardstock. You paid say $16 for the whole set. In the set has 24. So what you would do is you would divide the number of sheets in the set by the amount you paid for it, and it gives you an idea of how much it is per sheet. So then once you get the per sheet, then you're going to multiply the number of card bases by the per sheet. So example, I had to use 75 cardstock sheets, and then it was at 16 cents per sheet, which gave me a total of $12 for using 75 sheets. So that's the first one. Then if you're using 65-pound cardstock or any other kind of sheets, you're going to do basically the same thing. You're going to, of course, if you do have that available, you're going to determine how many sheets that you will be using, but you will do it per sheet, not per half or anything. That it just depends. So because you're going to have some kind of scrap, so you're going to do, if it's 10 sheets say of white 65-pound paper or pattern paper, you're going to do the same thing. How much did you pay for the pattern paper? How much did you pay for the 65-pound packet? Once you have that and you know how many in the packet, then you're going to go ahead and divide the price you paid by the number of sheets in the packet, which would give you an estimate of how much per sheet. Now, I had to use 10 sheets of pattern paper, so I have my receipt. So I went ahead in and see how much I paid for um, the 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 pad, and then how many sheets is in the pad, and I divided that and I got 12 cents per sheet. So then I used the 10 sheets, and then I have a total of $1.20 for using the 10 sheets. So that gives you an idea. So now I not only have the cardstock, I now have the pattern paper. So I'm getting kind of like a price per unit. Then I was going to be using envelopes as well. I needed 75 envelopes. Okay. Now, how much did I pay for the envelopes versus how many in the packet? Gave me an average of 10 cents per envelope. Now, once I did that, I ended up having my total as to how much it will cost me to use the 75 white envelopes. That's good. Now, as far as the sentiments, that is a little difficult because if you're using, say, a stamp, you kind of give it a little average, because then you have the ink, you have the stamp, so you're going to be try to be reasonable, you know. You kind of give more of a an estimate of how much you would charge per sentiment. And I cannot just give mine like 10 cents per sentiment, just, you know, to give some kind of rounded idea. And of course, I got the total if I used 75, whether it's stamps or sentiments or what have you. Now, if you're using like embellishments, example, and I will show you what I'm talking about. If you're using embellishments, here is an option here too. So here it is $1.47. Now in here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12. So what you're going to do is you're going to divide the $1.47 by the 12 to give you an estimate. So I hope that helps. Okay, so that's another way we do that. Now, as far as the again, the stamps, with the, like with this stamp here, you cannot really put up a price per se, but like I paid 1.99 for this. Okay, now I'm going to be using this stamp. Now for using the stamp, I'm going to say, okay, there's 4 stamps in there by 1.99, just to give you an example. Divide that, see how much you get per stamp. Okay, so then that helps. For tape, you cannot really measure or give an idea for tape, but you cannot just give a little estimation of what, you know, you may use, whether it's I'm not sure. I just would like 10 cents, a couple cents for tape. So it's just like an estimate. In that way, then it gives you, if that's all you are going to use, then you do your total. If you're going to use ribbon, you're going to, depend on how many yards of ribbon in there, you're going to have to try to calculate, based on the price you bought it, how much it would cost you to per yard. And of course, half a yard, it depends on how you're using it. So you kind of coming down to getting each and every piece of material or paper that you're going to use. You're going to have to find an estimate in some cases as to how much it'll cost. Then of course you get your total, and then if you're going to be charging your labor, with me I charge $15 per hour for labor, of course, and it depends on how many how much time you need. In my case, I charge the 15 per hour, and I charge like 2 hours, because I was able to work every single day to get it done. So I only charge like $30 for 2 hours, and then in that way it gave me another subtotal. Okay, now once you have gotten, let me just backtrack, I'm sorry. Once you have your estimated material, then what I did was I once I got the total, then I think I added, let's see, what else did I do? That's where the confusion comes in, because once I got the amount, of course I had to add taxes to that, which was 6.5%. And of course it gave me, however I calculated it, it gave me an estimate of how much each card would be, which turned out to be like $1.60 per card. So once I had the $1.60 per card by the 75, it gave me like $120 for that. And then of course I added the tax, and then it gave me an estimate. Then I added my price per hour for labor, and then of course it gave me the total. Now I know it's a lot, but I'm going to try to condense it in a way that at least it will help you get on track for it. Now if there's any one of you who have done wholesale cards before, and perhaps there's some, you have a better idea of how to do that, then I will be more than open to learning new things about that, because this was my first time doing wholesale cards. So again, I am going to put the information as best as I can at the bottom of the down in the comments, so that you can kind of see how I went about doing it, and hopefully that will give you some kind of idea. You can tweak it, you can do whatever you want, but it's just an idea. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. And do have a safe and blessed week, and see you again. Bye bye.